All right, welcome back to Evony with Genghis. Today, going to talk about some server rules. So, all server rules basically come down to how competitive your server is. I'll just say that I like a competitive server, but I don't want the most competitive server there is. I left what could be arguably one of the most competitive servers out there. And I just, there's just certain things I didn't like about the server, certain opportunities I wanted on a new server. This new server is a full NAP server, but we're starting to get to the point where people want to be more competitive in SVS, which is cool. People still want to be recreational. So, that's an inflection point. Let me show you our SVS, where this all comes from. So, as you can see, 7.6 billion to 8.28 billion. We got some good scores. I go to bed Friday night. We have a $1.5 billion point lead. I wake up, we're losing by 500 million. I go to bed Saturday. We get back to, 200-300 million lead, and we're losing again. And it's always the same people. This guy, BBQ Services, always minus $1 billion. This time, at least he got 300 million points. Last SVS, I think he got 22 million and minus 1.4. I'm not sure how that can even happen. Always Wi-Fi or lag he runs into. Maybe the problem is that he actually played. There's other people here that are negative too. Doesn't really, I don't want to pick on any person. There's different people all the time, but there's always people. One of the bigger problems is BBQ Brad is from one of the top two alliances, the only two PvP alliances on the server, really. So it's hard to point fingers at smaller alliances when they could easily say, what about him? What about him? Yeah. So, it's a difficult thing to do. So people want, things enforced, and they want things enforced fairly. And I agree with them. So one of the things that smaller alliances want is Wonder One, right? And if we look at our SVS, 500 million points, that's going to be tough to get. So we've discussed something that takes place on some servers. Some servers have every 3 or 4 SVSs. The people with Wonder One stand down and they don't play. So new dragons can be brought in. Now, the problem with that is SVS is one of the only places where you can get Blood of Heirs. So it's really hard to ask top players not to play. So another thought is just every couple SVSs, free for all, you get negative, it's not held against you, it's all good. You can get your throne, get your Wonder 1, Wonder 2, but you can't ask other people not to play when it affects them and they fall behind other servers. Now, another thing that gets discussed with that is just why not just have every SVS free for all? Do whatever you want. I'm kind of cool with that. Nothing wrong with that in my eyes. Just have it out there, out in the open. Hey, we don't care about winning. We don't care about losing. We just play for fun. Whoever gets whatever reward, that's fine. Now, how do you decide that? Who gets to decide that? That's another controversial point on servers. So if we look at Alliance Power Rankings, and if you looked at our alliance here, in my opinion, I would probably say, top 2 alliances here, their opinion matters a lot more, as long as they're fair to the other ones. Some might say top 5 because they're all over 10 billion. Now, for point of reference, this is a 2-year-old server, almost. This server is operated historically with 7 alliances being able to vote. And they all get 1 vote, and it's all equal. I've brought that up, that I'm not sure that a 3 billion alliance gets the same opinion as a 72 or 53 or alliance. And they said, well, that's just the way it is. I just think 7, obviously there's only, all 7 are not really competitive in terms of PvP, helping SVS, going for all-stars, that sort of stuff. So to have 5 alliances vote against the 2 that do have players going for that doesn't seem very fair to me. It's too much of a tilt towards recreation than competitive for me. I think 5 is good, or 7, and then you allow some big players who maybe aren't their R5 to have an opinion in there, even though it'd probably vote the same way as their alliance. But that's fine. At least it gives a couple more votes. Anyways, that's where we are about debating things. We have no kill event. So we have full nap. We're discussing bringing kill event back this weekend. It's been motivated by continued losses in SVS. And some people have said, hey, maybe if we just have kill event, SVS alternating weekends, maybe that will just teach some people, bubble discipline for the weekend. So these sort of things don't happen. I'm inclined to try it. Why not? Because the current route isn't working. If we want to be competitive and win SVS, the current route is obviously not working. We lose all the time. We won last weekend. I'm not sure how. The other server should be very embarrassed. We are a very bad SVS server. Now, other things that we talk about is these pyramids, these damn pyramids. Look at these, right? So it's all low-ranking players getting all the rewards. No one from top alliances, and they're really good rewards. But the problem is, every single day in SVS, in regular play World Chat, I'll turn on World Chat and I'll see so-and-so hit me in a pyramid. You can't accidentally do it. There's no more explore and it attacks. You get bounced off. So you actually have to see a red flag and attack someone. So some people want those pyramids just to be full-time KE. If people can't, behave properly, just say you're at your own risk. No more complaining about it. I kind of feel that that's a good idea. I'm not sure though. I haven't really thought it through, and honestly, I would just like the pyramids to go away. Barbarians, I don't like either. I just think that it takes time away from rallying, people finding bosses. So I don't really like either of them. On my old server, they'd come and go as exclusive as a nap to the bubble or burn. And, we eventually allowed them to be full-time nap just because we actually thought it was a disadvantage to the other alliances. Yeah, go play in the barbarians. Stop rallying. Stop looking for bosses. Let us have them all. So we let that happen, and that was just a strategy. But different opinions. So I think what we're going to be doing going forward, we're going to be implementing KE. We just had a vote, and it was tied, actually. But there's talk that why not just implement it, try it for 1 week, and see if that will, maybe strengthen some of the weaker hands and have them learn to bubble up. And then if we win SVS, the next one, we can withdraw KE and go back to full-time nap as long as we're performing well. We don't even have to win SVS in my eyes. Just eliminate the -1 billions. I just don't understand how that can continue to happen. So if we could eliminate those and teach better bubble discipline, I also would like alliance mergers, just have less alliances on the map. I feel like this is a lot of alliances. Evony used to have a way to do this. They had only top 10 on a server got to play Battlefield, so people were forced to merge so they could play Battlefield. Now it's top 20, and you don't have to do that. Maybe Evony did that because they wanted to, create more animosity. Oh, looks like Deplorable is playing some SVS because he is ghosting. Speaking of this, one thing I never really understand in SVS is ghosting on monsters. I always ghost on cities. Why waste stamina? I would have ghosted right here on this guy. Pick a guy who's not in an alliance so no one can see that you're ghosting. And that's it. Just a dead city. You just bookmark it and you keep ghosting on it. But, little tip. But I understand why you do monsters, because the first ghost you do, you lose bubble. So I guess there's a small chance someone could hit you in that 2 seconds while you're ghosting the other marches. But that's it. Let me know in the comments how you guys come up with your rules. Maybe you got some suggestions for me. But it has to be a happy medium where the competitive people who spend a lot of money, the rules aren't dictated to them by the free-to-play players. But also the free-to-play players do have some they do have some right to rules because they can cause disruptions, right? They could steal bosses, they can tile, they can bounce you from tiles, they could do all sorts of stuff. They could lose SVS for you. There's all sorts of stuff they can do. So everybody's got to be happy. It's an equilibrium that has to be reached. To me, I just want people to get more rewards. I don't really care about performance. If we get all the rewards equal and lose SVS, I'm totally fine with that. Less money to Evony, less souls being bought, all sorts of things like that. But you just have to decide as a server how you want to play and what will make everybody happy. Anyways, Genghis, parts unknown. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.